Now, I don't think this is going to be a particularly popular video, but about a month ago I made a video condemning the movie Music by Sia. And I said, as an autistic person, I found it quite offensive. I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like any of the pre-release issues that it already had. And I said I probably wasn't going to watch it. But I felt like, in the case of fairness, I better had watched it. Boy, do I regret it. So, to be clear, this is not a review of the movie. I don't feel like I can give a completely impartial review of the movie. My headspace is a bit different than most people's going into this movie, I'd imagine. So I'm just going to talk about things I really didn't like and I thought were quite damaging. Now, first and foremost, I want to say Maddie Ziegler's been getting a lot of hatred for this role. I don't think that's particularly... Well, maybe it is fair, but I'm not here to do that. Especially with the stories of her really not wanting to do it and really feeling pressured into doing it and not liking it at all, you know? I feel like that's important to consider when looking at this movie. But that was really uncomfortable to watch. Really uncomfortable to watch someone I know isn't non-verbal autistic portraying this sort of thing. Now you can say that is a little bit hypocritical because I don't do it when I watched Forrest Gump or anything like that, you know. But no, because I know this condition a bit more intimately, I guess. Certainly not to the extent that the characters portrayed to have, but I do know I have seen what that's like, and seeing it done by someone who isn't that level at all is really strange to me, and it just wasn't a nice feeling. So I want to get that out of the way, and again say, Maddie, I'm not blaming Maddie at all. She felt very, very pressured into doing this, and that is not cool. But yeah, I wasn't happy with that at all. Secondly is the issue that a lot of people have had with this movie, and I can definitely see why, and I completely agree. The calming down scenes, the scenes where the caregivers, right, they tackle music to the ground and they hold on to her as she's having a meltdown. Now, in the 2000s, this was something that was thought to be a good thing to help people having a meltdown on the spectrum. We're in 2020, we know this isn't the right thing to do anymore. I don't see how that went over Sia's head when researching and scripting this movie. Maybe it was the people at Autism Speaks that told her to do it, you know, that great company that really helps us out. I'm getting really angry, I shouldn't be. Right. Yeah. Here's another bit that not a lot of people are talking about, and I feel they should, because it was horrifying to hear. The character of Zoo, who is the main caregiver in this movie, she is going to a meeting, a drug dealing meeting, and where she takes music with her. And on the way up to the meeting in the lift, she says, "This is a very busy day. Can you not have one of your little meltdowns today, please? If you need to do it now. Can you not have your little meltdown?" What? It's such a disrespectful comment. And it's such an ignorant comment. And maybe that was why it was said to make Z look very unknowing of the condition. It doesn't make it okay. It was just very uncomfortable to hear, and no. Ugh. And luckily enough on her end, right, doesn't have a meltdown. Doesn't have a meltdown at that particular moment. But there are other instances in the movie where it's shown, and there's even an instance where she looks at the other caregiver and she says, "Do the thing," in regards to that, right? That's seriously harmful, in my opinion. That's not It's not right at all in my view. It's not right at all. And there's loads of instances like this. Another thing, from a visual standpoint, as an ordinary moviegoer, this looks great and creative and wonderful. But you're making a movie for people on the autistic spectrum, and certain autistic people don't like overly bright colours, flashing images, changing shots, quick cuts, don't really like those sorts of things. And there's loads of that in this movie, as well as very loud music and very loud noise and very jump scary sort of sound design. And that's not good. That's not right in my view. And if you're marketing something for that particular audience, I feel like you should have that audience in mind when you're editing the film as well, if you see what I'm saying. Just my view, of course. And overall, my assessment of this movie is that it's damaging more than it's helpful. I know that it's meant to be a movie for carers, and I think that's a wonderful idea. I think that carers need a lot more respect and support in this world, absolutely. But this didn't do anything for the actual people who they're caring for, if you see what I'm saying. This was damning and worrying. Personally, I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done. I think Sia could have done much more research. I think, personally, she shouldn't have worked with autism speaks, as they hold some of these dark ages ideas on autism, and that's not what you need when you want to make a progressive movie like this. But I will say, if you go and see it, let me know what you think. But I'd rather not encourage anyone to give any money to this movie to see it to all of that right now. I think Sia needs to learn from her mistake here, and then she can move on, she can go on with her career. But this needs to be seen as a misstep, and I want her to admit it's a misstep. I would like that very much, for her to admit this was a mistake. I know she's not going to see this video, I don't think many people will, but as an autistic, I really didn't like this movie. I'm more than open to a conversation in the comments below, but just personally didn't sit right with me, and yeah. Quickly before I go, because I know a lot of comments are going to talk about this, yes, every condition of autism is different. My experience to autism will be completely different to you watching this video, or someone who's non-verbal like music is, or you're going to see people who don't have outwardly as much linguistic skill as I do, and that's okay. And every single person on the spectrum is awesome, and I want you to know that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. But I personally feel this movie was not a good representation of autism, and maybe it's a difficult thing to task because so many different people on the spectrum are different. I just really feel like this wasn't it. See you all very soon, guys. There's going to be much more positive content on this channel very soon. This was just something I needed to get off my chest after seeing the video. After seeing the movie, my apologies. And yeah, I just did not like it. See you all very soon. Bye bye.